What is a veterinarian? A veterinarian's job is to care for the well-being of our animals and make sure their overall health is okay. A veterinarian recommends that you bring your pet to the veterinarian annually to make sure that they're okay and make sure that their overall health is great. I, on the other hand, do not follow this. I would only take my dogs when they were very ill, and I wouldn't take them like I was supposed to their annual visits. This started to change as I started to work as a veterinary technician and started to realize the importance of taking your pet for the regular vet visits. So, growing up, I had these two dogs. I got them when I was 8 years old. They wouldn't always go to the veterinarian like they were supposed to. My parents and I had very little knowledge on pet care, and basically I ended up raising my dogs up just like my parents did when they were growing up. So no vet visits, no veterinary care, no preventative care, and bare minimum with like vaccines and everything. Um, so this one time, one of my dogs got very sick, and then he started to get more and more sick, and I would beg my dad if we could bring him to the veterinarian. Once he finally caved in and we took him to the vet, um, I sat in the lobby waiting for him to be called for his appointment and realized that all around me there were other people who were in the same similar situation as I was, in which they had very minimal vet care, very minimal vet, knowledge about how to take care of a dog properly, and I started to realize that there must be something more than just taking your dog every once in a while. That there has to be something very important with taking them annually like you're supposed to. Um, and then as I started to grow up, as I grew up, I was in high school. So my senior year of high school, um, I took an intro to veterinary medicine, and in that class, I started to learn more and more about the importance of taking your pet to the vet, preventative care, and vaccines and everything, and as well as heartworm and flea prevention kind of stuff that my dogs weren't really exposed to. And then once I graduated high school, I realized that I kind of wanted to pursue more knowledge about veterinary care and veterinary visits and the overall workings of why the importance of these visits. So once I landed a job as a veterinary technician, I started to see what veterinary medicine is about and what happens when you take your dog to the vet, and what goes on with the exams and the interaction between the doctor and the client. So I would see the doctor would go over various diagnostics, they would go over vaccines and preventative care, and overall give useful information to the client so that they can better take care of their pet. And while I was in there with the doctor, I would realize this is what my pets have been no, these are things my pets weren't being exposed to. And so I started to learn more and more and more as I started working as a veterinary technician, and I started to realize the importance of veterinary visits. That these are not just when you're supposed these aren't just there for you to take. A vet isn't there just for you to take your animals when they're sick or very ill or on their deathbed. A veterinarian is there for you to take them annually and to make sure that your dog is doing okay. And so after I started working as a veterinary technician, I wanted to work more and more and more and be exposed to more critical cases and more um, and more and work in an area that has kind of goes in with my beliefs and my assumptions and then how I grew. So I started working as an emergency technician. So as an emergency technician, I saw more critical cases. The critical cases were people who were just like me growing up. They wouldn't bring their pets in for annual visits and everything, so they had more critical illnesses. Um, I started to realize more and more and more that visits are not just optional; they are vital. So you're supposed to take them annually. So then, working more with clients that had the similar mentality as me, I started to share my belief with them. So telling them that, oh, you should have a regular veterinarian, you should take your pet annually to the vet so that you can prevent these expensive vet bills and make sure that your pet has a better overall health. And then I would give them a list of regular veterinarians. I would feel better that, oh, I'm making a difference. I'm able to show more people about why a vet visits are very important and vital for your pet. I would also um, started to realize that we are the voice for our pets. So our pets can't speak for themselves, so we speak for them. And then basically in conclusion, I started working more with pets and started to realize the importance of veterinary visits and why they're vital for our animals.